Sweet Project Cars here with cool, trick, and affordable ways for the do-it-yourselfer. We have to give credit where credit's due today, and that goes to Chris Pinter and Oregon Coast PC for funding us and keeping our channel up and rocking. We are here today to show a little bit about interior plastics that are scratched. Take a look at this picture that one of our great subscribers sent us. All right, now you see in that picture his interior plastic is scratched. We're going to go beginning to end on how to fix scratches and gouges in your interior plastic and how to copy the texture of the plastic that you're actually doing. Julio paid me 20 bucks to put these on there. He says it's good advertising. Julio, tell them where all the tools can and will be.
Buscar en el show más de la descripción de video para todas las herramientas.
Thank you, Julio. Now, as I said, this piece of plastic here, let me see if I can get that up there for you. It's got a real nice gouge in it, but we're going to fix that. And you can hear it's pretty deep. The best thing to do is to take the plastic right out of the car. It's not hard to do at all. You'll need 2 pieces of plastic. This is a pillar cover right here. First thing you want to do is knock the high spots down, and you will take your razor blade to do that. And all you do is scrape across the top just very lightly. And that knocks the high spots down that were raised up from it, smooths it right out. Now, we are going to clean this with our 99%. This will remove all the grease and oil, all the conditioners that have ever been put on this piece of plastic. Now we are going to clean it with our prep spray. This is a special prep spray right here for plastic. Spray the whole thing down. This helps to bond the color to the plastic, and it cleans it really well. You can do this a couple of times if you feel you need to. Now we're going to set that aside and let it dry, and you see the color difference just from being clean compared to this. It's from the same car. Look at the difference in that just from being clean. You're going to make your texture tool. So you're going to take and spray a little 303 on right there. Wipe that off. Now you put a little coating on there. Now the spot that we have gouged in the other piece of plastic is about that big. This is a dent pulling piece of equipment, glue tab. And all you do is you put a little bit right here of your glue. And then you put it right where you had the 303. Press that down. A little bit of pressure. Let that dry good. And as I said, the mark is right here. It's small, but you can see it. It's agitating for people to look at gouges, and it's really visible inside the car where it sets. All right, there's our texture. Still drying. Let me get that up there for you. That's the exact texture of that panel. Now what we do, we've only found one plastic putty that will work for this. And what I do is I keep it right in my pocket, so I keep it warm, and I put a little bit right on the razor blade. And the cool part of it is, if it doesn't pan out for you, all you have to do is do it again, and you'll get it. If you get some stuff where you don't want it, you can wipe it with your prep spray, Now here's the key. You will not know if that is completely flush and closed up until you spray paint it. If you do it and you do it wrong and you don't like it, you can clean the paint off with your lacquer thinner. Clean the paint off in that area. The rest of it will be painted. The whole cover will be painted. And you can redo the whole process I just shared with you. You'll match the paint perfectly. It won't be a big problem. Now to speed it up for the camera, we're going to use the old heat gun. And you want to watch touching anything. I usually will wipe my fingers with the prep spray on my cloth just to make sure I'm not putting any grease on. But this will take care of any gouges, scratches, and any of your plastic. One of the biggest things is to make sure you get it flush by scraping it. You can do this to your dash, whatever you want. And those texture tools right there are the bomb. Very easy to make. Now I touched it again, so I'll put a little bit more prep spray on and just make sure I wipe it down. Any areas that I'm worried about. Cracks and crevices, you want to make sure you get those real well. It's these cracks and crevices right in here that'll cause you problems when you go to color. And in here, these holes where they're recessed for your bolts, you can clean those out with a little prep spray and a Q-tip. Then I go over it real quick wipe with barely any prep spray on my cloth and go over it like that. This is ready. Now we're going to paint it. Put on the old 3M. That's my paint code, 643 light cashmere. Watch that disappear. It's gone. It came out perfect, but I wiped it clean because you've got to know what problems you could run into. A lot of guys don't show you that stuff, so I wiped it as if I didn't like it. So I take my lacquer thinner. This is all you have to do. You just go over that area. Still can't feel anything. Feels pretty good. Let that dry. Now we use the lacquer thinner, so we don't need to use the prep spray, but we will. We never cut corners when it comes to the prep spray. And we will put our putty in one more time. We're just repeating the process as I mentioned. If you don't like it, you can do it again. That's the cool part of this. Now I can take my texture tool if I want. I don't have to, because there's not very much there. And all you do is just press it in like this. I love to show you what problems you could run into. It really helps you achieve the success you're looking for. Warm it up with the heat gun once again. Get it to dry out. Now, when you've seen it after I wiped it off, it looked pretty horrible, didn't it? Well, guess what? Never get frustrated. You've got to have patience doing this stuff. Remember, worst case scenario, you go out and buy a new cover. Or you go to the scrap yard and get a good one. Not the end of the world. Paint it again. Okay, now look at this paint job. We wiped all that we had painted on there previously. You can't even tell. And the spot, where is it? Right there? It's right there if you look very closely. And guess what? You can do that over and over again until you get it absolutely perfect. But when you stand back like this, you cannot see the gouge.